talked about English, learning online, and now, of course, we're going to keep going this topic with actually the ways that we can improve English, or maybe the second language, not only English. So when learning a second language, what to do, what not to do in order to improve our skills. The most important one, our speaking. So tell me, so what do you think, how to improve our English skills, because you are studying English as English? How?
Yeah. For me, I think is a three principle. That is, we have to discipline in learning. That means we will keep learning every day. At the same time, um, uh, I think that we are all busy, so we don't have time to learn English. But if we arrange a schedule to learn,
Yeah.
that means at the same time of the day you will learn. So it's not matter if you don't have the time.
Yeah, of
So
course.
discipline is the first reason to
Of
do.
course. I do agree
And,
with you.
yeah.
And
The second is the program. It's that means you need effective program or material to learn. Yeah, it's help you to get the goal to get the goal soon.
of
Yeah,
course.
and the last time is for me, just do it. Yeah,
Of course, be
yeah,
persistent. Of course, that was really important. Yeah. So actually, you mentioned really good point. So the first one, to be organized, as you said, to follow and have a really good schedule, and after that, to be persistent. So let me share my screen. So as you said, so just okay, the first one, to be organized, that is really important. To have a good maybe schedule to follow,
yeah, that's right.
schedule, of course. And the last one, as you said, just keep going. So to be persistent, just continue, and whatever happens, maybe you enter some difficulties, sometimes you can, sometimes you're busy, but just keep going. So yes, I do agree with you, definitely, because these three items are really important items when learning English. In addition, there's some methods, of course, and you mentioned at a previous session, you mentioned shadowing. That was really good. And yeah, we have this method, especially when you imitate, when you follow someone's actually accent and maybe speech, you can use the same word and you can sometimes like copy the accent so that you can improve. So you listen, repeat. So that's perfect. Well, the first one, imitation. So we try to imitate, that is to follow what someone says, okay? And to follow or endeavor to follow. Just endeavor means try. Let me say this one is not bad to know. So the first one, imitate, that is to follow. Oh, all the time I have problem with typing, just, I don't know what color to choose so that we can see on the word and on the book. Okay, white background, black background. Okay, so we need to try, we need to endeavor to follow, okay? For example, an example or a model. So tell me if you try to, especially when it comes to accents, because we need to, do you do this? do try to follow and imitate the accent when talking to someone?
Yeah, of course, we need to imitate the accent when we speak English. Mm, but first, we need to learn the AP, IPA uh, to um, to know how exactly the letter is spoken. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's very important for a foreign to learn English at a
of
second
course, of
language.
course. That was perfect, of course. And, as you said, there's some, especially when pronouncing something, before copying and following the accent, that's really important to know intonation and word stress, especially, maybe the most important thing that some students don't pay maybe careful attention to. So this how to, and what that is difference between intonation and word stress, right? You know
Yeah,
that they're different.
right.
Yeah, when we say intonation, like means when your voice goes up and down to express, to state your feeling and emotion, if you're excited, if you're sad, or word stress, it can be actually really useful, because if you pronounce a word with a wrong stress, maybe the meaning of word can be changed, like these two words. Okay. The stress in these two words is different. The first syllable, the second syllable, and the meaning of these two words, they have different meaning. So if we say them incorrectly with writers, of course, maybe our audience, people who are listening to us, like, well, why is that? Why she said this? One means dress, clothing, one means tradition, so definitely different. Like custom and costume, so different. Well, and avoid. I want to ask you, what do we need to avoid to do?
I think it's because you have to spend as much time as possible, because your voice is uh, belonging to the time that you practice, so you can gradually get um, this the speed, the structure, and the accent of a foreign language. If you keep going using your mother language, so you don't have enough time to practice.
Of course, very good. So the first one, as you said, modern. Of course, we avoid using, of course, it can be our common, like mother tongue in classroom. Of course, this is our comfort zone, so we normally tend to use, but we shouldn't. The second one, especially when watching subtitle. So, some people, watch videos and then, of course, they turn subtitle on and say, okay, yeah, I'm listening and I'm checking. No, you are not listening. You are just reading. So that's really important not to use. Yes, if you want to use, that's perfect. In actually, maybe lower levels, we recommend, yeah, using subtitle, but in English, not in, for example, all the languages. Like, for example, I don't know, if you are French, just French subtitle, or Vietnamese. No, and just English, then you can compare, but not this way. Just listen, and sometimes if you need, okay, you can check What's the word wise that I heard just now? Well, yeah, so we avoid, and after avoid, we use gerund, ing form of verb. We avoid using our mother tongue when talking, when we are in classroom. And make use of. Yeah, of course, as we discussed before, so especially nowadays, because of online courses, we have actually huge access in every material and different resources through the internet. So that's really easy to have lots of. So we can use something, okay? Make use of something. So to use like something that is available. So of course, especially for a reason. I always make use of, just after this, make use of the internet. This is like a noun, so you know that because we have prepositions, so it's noun. To what? To teach my children English. There are a variety of interesting English materials there. Okay, so tell me, what do you make use of when learning English, except for example,
I have a hobby when I access the internet, that I love to browse the internet with the English learning shorts, and I download it to my laptop, and every day I write down to my notebook, and I have a goal list. That means the list of the vocabulary. So I just write down the words or the sentence, and after that, another day I repeat and repeat, because I know that if we learn in a short time, you can keep that knowledge in your memory. So I need to repeat after day after day.
Very good. Okay, very good. Just you said hobby. If I were you, I would say I am in the habit of.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, this one is really good one.
Thank you.
Yeah, this one, yeah. And after that, it means you do it regularly. Of course, you can use used to, just we will talk about it today, just, but this one is really good. I'm in the habit of, for example, making some notes or taking some notes. So you can say just after of, don't forget about using of gerund, ing form of verb. Well, of course, you need to set your goals. Okay, I want to know your aim of learning English. Why are you studying English? What is the reason for starting English, and what is your goal?
My goal is that I can learn English fluently as a second language, so I can speak to native speaker. Yeah, and for my personal reason, that is in the next several years I will immigrate to the US to live with my parents. So I need to prepare language. Yeah, it's very important for me.
Of course, very good. Yeah, of course you should. A good reason. So you need to set your goal. So for example,
I need to set my goal. Yeah.
Of course. And and that was really good when you something like immerse, yourself in, especially in an English speaking environment. So what it means you become involved, just, talking to natives, or for example, it can be. So immerse yourself means to be completely involved. So it's really good to immerse yourself. Okay, so that is, for example, in English speaking environments. That is to be completely involved. So it's really good to talk to natives. So why not? Or if you travel somewhere that's really, so you can use this phrase. It's really good. So just don't forget that the preposition is in something. So immerse yourself in English speaking. Example. So why not? So that completely why not? The perfect, actually, that's really good. So what is this? Okay, that is really important to do it again and again. And of course, with native speakers, for example, if I want to learn Vietnamese, why not? It's really good to talk to Vietnamese people because you know the best. Okay, so that's really good. And this one, of course, immerse yourself, and we have it here. So immerse yourself. Okay, so tell me, because you have an experience immersing yourself in an English-speaking environment because you just, recently traveled to actually another country. So tell me, how was your experience? How difficult was it? How easy was it? Tell me.
I don't. I live in Vietnam, so I don't have an environment when speaking English. And in my work, I can use my English too. So I have to to make the environment by myself. For example, I'm in the habit of doing exercise in the morning.
Yeah.
Last time, several years, I love swimming, but now I turn to jogging and running because when I do my exercise, for example, running, I can wear an earphone to listen to podcast in English and some conversation in English. So I make all the time in my day with an English environment.
Yeah, very good. So first of all, you talked about starting doing some like, you start to, I don't know, do jogging or for example, walking or running. So you can say take up. It means to start a new activity. So I took up. I took up, you can say. And after that, yeah, that's really good because it's really important too. You can say, I made it a point to, for example, study English, to use English on a daily basis. So you try to use English every day on a daily basis. So I make something a point. It means I try to be sure that because it's important. So I try to be sure that I do it. So I make something. I said I made it because you talk about past. So I use past form. So I make, you can say, I make it a point to, for example, use English to when jogging, when walking, when doing for example, daily exercises. So you can say, and when working out. So why not? You can say workout instead of exercise because we normally tend to say exercise, but why not? Workout is another, yeah, of course, another word that you can use instead of exercise. So perfect. Okay, so we have some words here. We just talked about them: imitate, avoid. Do you have any questions related to these words and phrases?
Yeah. Mm, I love to imitate the voice of a talent on TV so that I can improve my tongue, my speaking skill.
My speaking taught me my speaking skill. So it's not a good word here, just speaking skill. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And the second, as much as possible, remember to avoid speaking Vietnamese when you are trying to learning English.
To learn, just to learn, of course.
Yes. And the third, I am in the habit of make use of access internet material when learning.
Okay, make use of different materials, or yeah, of course, there's some materials on the internet, of course, very good. And
if you want to learn English remember to set your goal day after day.
yeah, of course, just, if you want to learn English effectively, that was perfectly correct. So, of course, and or in an effective way. If you don't want to use adverb, in an effective way, you can use this phrase also as well. But, and you can also say, yeah, if you want to learn English effectively, try to make it a point to set your goals. So, to make it a point, you can use it.
Yeah. And the last one, immerse yourself in an English speaking environment is the most important thing when learning English.
Of course, perfect, very good. Well, and this one, of course, no pain, no gain. So we need to try hard to achieve our goals. So no pain, no gain. And we have also another idiom that you can use, no effort, no result. And so it's a synonym for no pain, no gain. So you can say no effort, no result. So both are, so yeah, of course, no pain, no gain, no effort, no result. Of course, you need to try hard and put a lot of effort to achieve your goals. Yeah. So especially the road to speaking English fluently is long, hard, and challenging, of course, but I believe no pain, no gain. So what do you think? Do you believe it?
Yeah,
idiom?
I totally agree with this.
Yeah,
that's true.
Not only about learning, I think in life. So every valuable, precious thing needs maybe too much effort. So, and especially score IELTS 8.5. So maybe in the future you will need it. Okay, well, and we're going to talk about a really good structure today that is used to. But first of all, let's talk about different forms of use. So you know that we can use used to talk about our habits in the past, but used to plus base form of, what is that? Verb, okay. And we have used to for present, that is be plus used to plus gerund. This is about your habits that now you are something that you are familiar with. I will explain. And we have get used to in gerund, ing form of verb, to talk about something that's become familiar. So, for example, for past, you know that. I used to, for example, learn French when I was younger, but now I don't. So it's something that was my habit. Now I don't have it. So this is about past form of it. For be used to, for example, I drink coffee every morning. So I can say, this is my habit. I'm in the habit of drinking coffee. So I'm used to drinking coffee every morning. Every morning. So I'm used to. This is be, am, is, are. Okay, and used to and ing form. This is for present habit, something that you are familiar with. So this is about, and get used to, the structure of the day. That can be used in negative or affirmative. So here you can say don't get used to, or couldn't get used to, or for example, affirmative. For actually something that you become familiar with, the process of becoming familiar. For example, I think I get used to, for example, living in hot weather, okay, by the next summer, something like this. For example, I have moved to New York. This city is really bustling, but I think I will get used to living in this hustle and bustle. So I can say, I will get used to living in this hustle and bustle. Hustle and bustle. I will get used to living. So it means in future. For example, actually, it's been 3 years that I've moved to, for example, new house, and I've been living with my roommates. But I couldn't get used to living with my roommates. It means it's actually didn't become a habit for me. So I couldn't get used to, for example, living with my roommate. It means it's difficult, still difficult to me. So as you can see, I can use you get used to with different tenses, present, past, or for example, future, because this structure is used to talk about the process of becoming familiar with something. So this is about get used to. So it's your choice how to use it. And just the structure, it's depending on the tense, present or past or future, you need to use an auxiliary, like, I don't know, for example, could or modal, or for example, auxiliary, like, so you can use, if you have modal, will, could, or for example, like this, or I couldn't, I could, so negative, affirmative, and after that gets, after that used to, and then ing form of verb. Okay, now let's use structures to make some sentences. Okay, tell me about your past habits first. I want to know about your past habits, maybe something that you did in the past, but now you don't. Or maybe you didn't and now you do.
I'm guessed you to do my makeup before going out.
Okay, so just here we have an issue. First, I want you first, if that was a mistake, that was an error with this structure, because I am get used to know. I'm used to, or I get. You can say I'm get. You can say I'm getting. I'm getting used to. It means step by step. So present continuous
That's
is
right.
okay. Yes.
Got it. Yeah.
So I'm getting used to, for example, wearing my makeup. Okay, wearing makeup every day when going. So it's step by step. I'm trying to become familiar. I'm getting used to. But first, I want you to make a sentence using past form of it to talk about past habits, something that you did, now you don't, or you didn't, now you do.
Yeah. I used to working with my dog in the park.
So just after used to, I used to, after to, definitely base form. I used to walk. I used to walk. Okay, so this one, walking, no, because this is past form. As you can see, used to plus base form of verb. So I used to walk, yeah, with my dog at the park. Okay, now something that is, or for example, I didn't used to drink coffee when I was younger, but now I drink a lot. So I didn't used to. You can use negative, but a point here. If you use negative, I'm talking about this structure, that is past form of it, okay? For past, because this is past, I say I didn't for negative, but I need to remove, to omit D. I didn't used to drink coffee when I was younger. I didn't use it. It was not my habit. So you can use negative form, but pay attention. When you use did, you need to omit D. So we say didn't used to, and after used to, base form of verb. Okay, so make an example, like, using didn't used to, like a sentence. What you didn't in the past, but now you do.
I didn't used to watch television at night.
Very good.
Now, yeah, now I do it.
So this is past. And now let's talk about present. Something that is your habit now. Be used to. Am used to, an ing form of verb. So do an example.
I used to do my homework after class hours.
So this is not, that was for past. I used to. I am used to doing. Gerund means ing form of verb. So for present, you need to use ing. So I am used to doing my homework, my assignment after the class. So again, another one.
In the same sentence, in the same.
Yeah, present tense.
I used to listen to music after work.
Again, present for your habit now. I am used to listening. Actually, the way that you are making is past. I used to listen. It means in the past, but it's not my habit now. I want you to make your sentence for your habits now, something that you do now, present time. I'm used to listening to music. It means I do it every day. So again,
I used to do my yoga every morning.
this is your sentence. I am used to. So just pay attention. If you say I used to do yoga every morning, it means you did yoga in the past. It was your habit, but now you don't have this habit. You don't do it anymore. But when I say I am used to doing, it means I do it every day. This is my habit now. I'm used to doing my yoga every morning. I'm used to doing. For example, my daughter is used to sleeping late. Her habit. She is used to sleeping. So ing form of verb. Okay?
Yeah.
Do you want to do another one?
Yeah, I know. But so let me have some time to review all this.
Of course. And the last one, I think this one, that is get used to. So that's really good structure, especially about, used to is really good structure to talk about their habits for past, present, future. Tell me about something you said. I am getting used to wearing makeup when going to work. That was really good. Okay,
Yeah.
so it means I'm trying. This is the process of becoming. Do you want to do another example?
Yeah, of course. For example, uh, I'm getting used to eat healthy food in my daily meal.
That's great. Of course, I'm getting used to. That's great. Yeah, it means I'm trying, present continuous. And you can also say I will. I think, for example, I tried a lot, but I couldn't get used to eating healthy food. It still couldn't, the process. So you can use different form of it. That's really easy. Just let me, okay. So here in your book, we only have get used to, but I try to explain different structures. Now you know everything about used to. This is all about used to for past, for present, habits, and for example. As you can see, that's really easy. And now, okay, let's, for example, I soon got used to, this is past form of it. I soon got used to Australian accent. Just let me say something. Here you can see a noun phrase. It's okay. After used to, you can say, I get used to drinking coffee or I get used to coffee. So it's okay. If you want to use verb that is common, you need to use gerund. If no, it's a noun. For example, I got used to talking English. I got used to American accent. So I got used to speaking in American accent. So different forms. If you want, you can use a noun. After just 3 months living there. So, or at first I found it very difficult, but now I eventually get used to speaking English all the time at work. Just this one, I get used to speaking. It's okay, but because if I actually wanted to change this one, I would say, okay, now it's my habit, so why not? I'm saying, but eventually now I'm used to speaking, so it means I'm doing it, so why not? Here, ing form and be used to is better. Okay, is that clear? Do you have any questions related to this structure?
Yeah, I will learn it. I will learn it.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
many
you
times.
can say, I try to get used to
Yeah, I
using
try to
it.
get used to it.
Yeah, to get used to, yeah, to get used to using. Okay, well, and now we have a radio program and we're going to complete a table. Of course, table is not a completed table. I can see only, let me see, just I can see a part of it, but it's okay, no matter. I want you to come actually listen to the conversations and, make some notes. First of all, what are the problems and what advice do they get? So let me play this.
Unit 4, Recording 5.
Hi, you're listening to Ask the Expert, and in today's programme, we're talking about languages and how to learn a language. Our expert today is Sally Parker, who is a teacher. Hi, Sally.
Hello.
Sally, our first question today is from Andy. He says, I've just started learning English. My problem is that I'm too frightened to speak. My grammar is not very good, so I'm worried about saying the wrong thing. Have you got any advice for Andy?
Okay, well, the first thing is I think Andy should practice speaking to himself.
Speaking to himself? I'm not sure that's a good idea.
I know it sounds silly, but talking to yourself in a foreign language is a really good way to practice. You don't have to feel embarrassed because nobody can hear you. You can talk to yourself about anything you like. What you had for breakfast, where you were going for the weekend, anything. And the more you do it, the more you will get used to hearing your own voice and your pronunciation, so you won't feel so frightened in the classroom. Andy should try it.
I suppose so. Anything else? What about his grammar?
He has only just started learning English, so he is going to make lots of mistakes, but that's not a problem. That's how he'll learn. Andy shouldn't worry about making mistakes.
You're right. So, Andy, try talking to yourself and don't worry about making mistakes. Our next problem comes from Olivia in Brazil. She is worried about pronunciation. She says, the problem is I can't understand native speakers. They speak so fast and I can't understand their pronunciation. So, Sally, any ideas for Olivia?
Well, first of all, it's a good idea for her to practice her listening skills. She should listen to English as much as possible to get used to how it sounds. Listen to the news, listen to podcasts, watch English television.
OK, that's a good idea.
And another thing she should do is to focus on listening and reading at the same time. If you listen to something on the internet, you can often read the transcript. If you listen and read at the same time, it'll help you see what the words sound like and how the words sound when a native speaker is talking.
Great. Thank you, Sally. Well, I'm afraid that's all we have time for today, but next week we'll be looking at...
Well, Andy.
Yeah. The problem with Andy is the grammar, as he used to say something. He used to say wrong something, and the advice is to practice himself to practice. That means he should talking to himself because nobody can hear him. He can learn when eating breakfast or try to work. And the more he practice, the more better in pronunciation he gets.
Yeah, of course, the better is pronunciation, of course, very good. And well, tell me about, don't be worried about making mistake. What do you think about this?
Yeah,
Great.
I totally agree with it because you are learning.
Yeah, of course.
You have to learn step by step, and for a learner, we should patient in learning.
Of course, we should be patient, and patience is important. So, patient is adjective, patience is noun. So patience is really important. So we need to be patient, of course, and we can learn everything by trial and error. So why not just practice, examine, and make mistake? So why not? You can easily learn everything. So no worries. So everyone can make mistakes. So that's really okay. And so when you immigrate in the future to my country, you will see that all natives make mistakes when speaking, because let me say, when you're a native, it seems like you're cool if you do it. So,
Really?
yeah, of course.
I don't think so.
Yeah, of course, because everyone think that, oh, he's native, so or she's native. And sometimes some of my students, for example, send me a part of a video, or for example, I don't know, part of a speech. Teacher, they're saying this way, but why? It's movie. It's, for example, a song. Why there's, it's okay, because, you know, when you are native, no worries if you make mistake, because it's like, you know, you're cool and it makes your speech interesting. So it's normal. So just take it easy. Okay, so we want to do it. Okay, and now I'm trying to find a video, so that is really good to watch. If I can find it, that will be great. So because it's a good one. I think this one. So okay, so just one.
Hey.
Okay, we're gonna watch a short video. They are having some problems. Okay, and I want you to watch and figure out what the problems are. Each person has a problem. Okay, so let's watch it together. Wow.
Hey, aren't we all in the same English course?
Oh yeah, how's it going?
Not bad, except I sometimes have trouble with my grammar, isn't it? I mean, sometimes I'm perfect, but other times I don't, won't they?
See, I'm all right with my grandma. My problem is spelling. I can't spell to save my loaf.
Yeah?
Yeah. I have to rely on the spell chalk on my computer.
Well, you know, look at it this way. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't eat it too. You know what I'm saying?
No, not really.
Oh, I think that she sometimes has trouble mixing metaphors, aren't she?
Yeah. Sorry, you guys. I'm always crying over spilled chickens before they're hatched.
It's all right for you all. I've got a very small vocabulary.
What's that like?
It's all right for you all. I've got a very small vocabulary.
That's okay. I have problems with my emphasis.
Your emphasis?
Yes, my emphasis on different parts of the sentences. In my job, that can cause a lot of awkwardness.
What do you do?
I'm a speech therapist.
A peach therapist that can't spike properly. Surprised your boss hasn't sucked you.
It's all right for you all. I've got a very small vocabulary.
Can I make a suggestion? Why don't you purchase a dictionary? You'll save yourself a lot of embarrassment.
I tell you what, why doesn't we all try studying together, isn't it? How doesn't next week sound, didn't we?
Great idea.
Fabulous.
Yeah, you give him an inch, it's worth two in the bush.
It's all right for you all. I've got...
Shut up, isn't it?
Well, okay. How was that? So could you get problems, everyone, and they try to show what problem they have. So could you get, for example, about this one, the person?
Last man.
Yeah.
Yeah, is the speed is the speed is too fast, so I can write down all the things, but I just remember the words. For example, RNC and small vocabulary and yeah, many words.
Is actually the most important problems that people can have when talking.
Yeah.
This person the man in brown jacket. So he has issues with grammar. And because of this, when speaking, as you watch, you know, he made lots of grammatical mistakes. So this is about the first one. The second one, this woman, Blondie, so she used overuse of idioms. Of course, using idiom is really good, but in normal speech, we don't use too many. So overuse of idioms and slangs. So the problem. This guy, the black guy, he has problem with spelling. He couldn't spell the words correctly. Because of this, we saw that, you know, some words were spelled incorrectly. And this one, that was the best one, I think. Emphasis, that is word stress. When you emphasize in a part of words wrongly, right? For example, you say, he said therapist, like, what is this? Are you Italian? Like, okay, therapist. So mistake, you know, when you make mistakes, especially when you want to emphasize. So emphasis is really important. So word stress. So in the correct part of word, because first, as I told you, you may change the meaning of the word. And the second one, people can't understand. For example, when you say something, especially because some words are really, you know, close, so they're nearly pronounced, so that is really difficult to understand what you. So this one, and of course about this one, this lady, so she has problem with vocab. So vocabulary, grammar, spelling, too much idioms, and word stress or emphasis. So 5 different parts. But this one is really interesting, this video. That was, if you want, you can watch it again. I can send it so that you can have it and watch it again. Do you want to have
I love it. Yeah, it's
course.
funny.
Of course, of course. Just, you know, now you know the problems. I want you to do something. Just listen whenever you have time. You just listen and try to match grammar, because, you know, we have sentences and phrases that they say to indicate their problems. I will send this one. So let me stop sharing. Okay. And well, let me share the screen again. Well, okay, and tell me, so I want to ask you some questions, and you can use these suggested phrases, you know, just how long have you learned English?
For me, I can say that I have learned English for 20 years.
Oh, perfect. So here, because
I can get fluence and can get the fluence in English.
It's okay. So it's okay. You couldn't become fluent, but now you are speaking very well. So that's okay. Maybe some issues, but that's perfect. So no worry about it. Just 20 years. It's wow. Just wow. So it's too long. So because you actually, it's not something related to your book, but it's not bad to know. When you are talking about an action in progress, since past to present, you are still learning. So present perfect is a good one, but present perfect continuous is the best one. So you can say, I have been learning English since, for example, 20 years ago, or for 20 years. Both are correct. So for 20 years, okay? Just I've been learning, because you're still learning. So you're talking about in progress action since past to present. So present perfect continuous, you only need to put been and ing. I have been, she has been, okay? And ing form of verb. That's perfect. Well, and tell me, what do you find difficult when starting? What is the most difficult part of learning English for you?
I think it's because the way to pronounce the ways to pronounce when between the Vietnamese letter uh, um, and in English.
Yeah, of course, I know. Pronunciation, because yeah, as you said, different pronunciation in your language and of course English. So yeah, I see. But it will be okay, don't worry. Okay, my dear Helen. So now the session is over and we need to go. Just if you have any questions, now you can ask and I'm here to answer. Just any questions, any issues, something that you want to ask me?
Can you give me the advice to learn English effectively?
Of course. Just
yeah, and not other time when I learn with you, and other time what should I do?
Of course, very good. So the first thing that I can tell you that is really important, just listening and watching. That's really important because when actually it comes to IELTS, we don't recommend this to, for example, IELTS students. What for general speaking, that's perfect to watch. But what? Don't watch something like, I don't know, news, because they have some specific words that you don't need. You need to watch something like series, like movies, okay? Without subtitle, just listen. No worries if you don't understand at first, so that's really normal. So just watch, listen. For example, you're going to work, you're driving, listen to podcast, stories, something like this, and talking to the mirror. That's really good. Just, when you have time, try to improve, to boost your confidence. Just try to the mirror, talk to the mirror. So like and no worries, and sometimes record your voice. For example, talk on something, a topic. For example, a food. You are making food, okay, and try to describe the process of making this food and record. Then listen. Listen and check your mistakes. These 3 ways are the best ways to improve your, especially speaking and listening skills.
Yeah.
Okay, my dear Helen. So,
yeah, thank you very much for your advice.
You're welcome. It was perfect time with you. Have a great and fruitful day and a week also. And see you at the next session.
Yeah, see you.
Of course. Of course. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.